Just wanted to do a quick walkthrough of my original Colt 1918 produced M1911 that was made during the World War I period. This one was produced more at the tail end of the war. I'm not sure if it ever actually got shipped overseas or not, but it was sent to the Bush terminal there in Bronx, New York, which should have been on its way to Europe. Now this one's in the 438,000 serial number range, so it's going to be kind of right there in the middle of 1918, maybe more towards the end. And it does have the infamous Black Army finish, which is basically a nickname given for the method Colt was using at the time to finish these pistols. They were trying to cut cost here and there for the wartime production, and the result was this one, which this method tended to create a real dark finish that flaked off and wasn't very durable. Usually these ones will be more of a brown look now due to the age and patina showing on them, because there's usually not a lot of finish left. You can kind of tell the original look of the finish in the areas that don't receive wear, such as right where they meet up with the wooden grips and below the slide and things like that. So that's a good indicator of what it originally looked like. You can also remove the stocks on it, the wood grips, and kind of see what it looked like below. At this point in the world, they were also dealing with the Spanish flu, the influenza. So much like today's COVID-19 pandemic, where masks came out, you can see even sporting events were affected by it, and ball players even had them on during the game. Now for fun, I just wanted to come up with a way to where I could create a nice little display for the pistol to keep it out so I can admire it for years to come, and still be able to take it out here and there and handle it and clean it and take it to the range every now and then. Now, due to the lack of heat treating back then, or the quality of it, wouldn't advise taking this 1918 model out very often. The World War II ones, I think they were properly heat treated, so those are a little bit better for shooters. Now my display, basically you can see here I've got the pistol, the correct magazine for the time period, which has that two-tone looking finish, which they did back then. And then I've got some rounds set up on the display itself. Now these are all dummy rounds that I've purchased, where you can fabricate them if you reload, with popped primers and no powder inside. I did use some rare earth magnets to basically adhere the magnets to the fabric itself. The fabric is glued to the backing board, so it's nice and stable. Then I epoxied the magnets on in the places that I wanted to retain the metal parts, such as the pistol itself and the magazine. Due to the weight of the pistol, it did take quite a few to be able to retain it, so it would stay when you put the display up vertically. Right now it just retains it well enough to where I can pick it up and move it, but if you put a lot of pressure when you put it down, it'll probably slide off. So that's kind of what I wanted, so that I could take it on and off fairly easily. Now just a note, where the magnets touch the metal, it's good to have maybe some sort of felt or thin fabric glued on top, or in my case I just did a thin layer of the epoxy. That way if it moves or slides at all, you're not getting any basically scratches and marring of the finish of the pistol. Now, I wouldn't recommend this for long-term solution on collectible firearms like this. It's good for temporary displays and things like that. But if you do keep it in there fairly often, then make sure you regularly take it out and inspect it and clean it and oil it. That way you're making sure there's nothing being built up on the locations that the magnets are touching. You don't want any damage done to this classic firearm. Now, out of respect, of course, I didn't want to ever use an actual flag for this. So I did find just a smaller handkerchief on eBay that I was able to purchase. And then I boiled it with some tea bags in a little pot, so that it could get kind of stained with that tea coloring to give it a little bit of a more aged, discolored look, which I thought worked well. It was just a little bit too bright when I got the initial fabric. Now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little walkthrough on the pistol itself and a little bit of the history behind it, as well as the creation of the display case for it. Look forward to more content coming out, and appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe for more content in the future. Thanks, and have a good day.